Good morning. What's good, you guys? I hope everything is fine. And I'm shooting this from my car to really show you guys that you don't need professional equipment to really make a difference. And hopefully a lot of you guys are tuning in and trying to learn. And like I said, like I'm still trying to figure things out, but hopefully I can show you guys what I've learned thus far in my journey and learn from you guys also. But anyways, if you didn't see from the title already, these are my 4 rules of money. So let's get right into it. So my money rule number 1 is don't spend earned income on liabilities. Instead, have the income from your investments to pay for those liabilities. And this brings me to a story. Now, before I tell this story, I just want to tell you guys that I have like my notes right here. I wrote down everything I want to like kind of like tell you guys so that you guys can hopefully learn everything that has helped me in my journey to live a good life and to live in my journey that I'm still on my journey of financial freedom. So hopefully it helps you guys, also. So I was traveling in Mexico, and I do this often. I go to Mexico pretty much every year. I don't know how it's gonna work out this year with the COVID-19, the beer bug, but we'll see. And on this special occasion, we saw this amazing house. And with me being curious, and this is like an amazing house, like really nice house. And we're just walking, and I saw the owner outside. And with me being curious, I asked him, "How can you afford this beautiful house and these great exotic cars?" And what he told me was that he didn't pay for any of these things. His investments did, right? So he paid for the investments, and then the investments paid for his luxuries. So for those who don't know, assets put money into your pocket. And assets can be things like real estate, cash flow, dividends from stocks, from a stock investment, while liabilities take money out of your pocket. So it can be like a brand new car, for example, that you just bought. So it's just not worth the same once you drive it off. So a lot of the wealthy invest first and then go on those expensive vacations, then purchase the expensive cars. Later they pay those things. They don't pay for those things. Their investments do, right? And I think that's a very key thing to understand. So I mean, I guess what I'm really trying to say is to stay down until you guys come up, and especially you guys, especially my audience, I think you guys should really get this, that nothing comes without hard work, but it is possible. um and yeah, so just some motivation there. So yeah, I mean, invest, guys. Stack your money and invest it, and then pretty soon in the near future, when your investments are paying off, then you can afford to buy these luxuries. So my money rule number 2 is never let money sit. Put it to work. And what I mean by this is there's a big difference between money and humans. So humans, pretty much, we get tired, like we need to rest up eventually. But money can work for generations and generations. Think of like these companies that were started in the 1800s, like Doyle is a company that sells fruit. It's based in Hawaii. And again, like the money that started like a century ago, now it's like multiply and multiplied every year. So now it's like they're super wealthy. So a good way I like to think of money is like my little workers. And obviously I send them out to go work for me, and then they come back with even more money and more workers and things like that. So what most people do is they keep their money in the bank, in checkings or savings account, and they don't know that they're actually losing money every single day because of this. So what a bank does is they take the money you give them, then they print more of it, and then they lend it out to banks and to other people. This is called fractional lending. And when the supply of something goes up, and this like economics, its value naturally comes down. So when banks print more money, the money that's in your checkings and saving account, it goes down. Hence the saying, a dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow. Because it's going to go down. Supply and demand. And it's the same thing with like inflation and things like that, as it's happening in Venezuela and in countries like Zimbabwe, or I think it happened in Senegal in the 1960s after the French left. So yeah, we have that. So my advice to you guys is don't save to just save. Like, save your money in order, like, it's a means to an end. Save your money to invest it. And so invest your money into assets that grow on pace with inflation or even exceed inflation. and in that way your money is safe. This is key, guys. This really helps me a lot, and I'm trying to provide all this knowledge to you guys. I think can really help you and benefit you guys. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm still trying to figure this journey out, but I'm trying to share what has helped me thus far in my journey and communicate it to you guys. So my money rule number 3 is money management is absolutely king. So what I mean by this is that it's not about how much you make, it's about what you do with that money. So there's a bunch of people out there, like celebrities and rich people. I mean, look up Dan Bilzerian, who they're making $500,000 a year, and they're living paycheck to paycheck, chasing a lifestyle they can't even afford. It is crazy what these people get themselves into. And really, if you guys don't believe me, go into Dave Ramsey's channel, and there's tons and tons of videos of callers calling in, talking about how they make $500,000 a year salary and that they can barely pay their bills. And it's crazy, it's wild. And it has to be with the choices these people make. Because with $500,000, really, you can live like a king in if you choose the correct lifestyle, right? And you don't have to work another day in your life. But if you move to an expensive city and buy the most expensive things in the most expensive city, then yes, you're only going to be living paycheck to paycheck, right? So what I find even crazier, guys, is that 60% of Americans were going to death with an $1,000 emergency fund. And that's really mind blowing. So me personally, I divide all my money into 3 funds. So my living fund, my saving fund, and my investment fund. So this sounds like very complex, and it's really not. So my living fund is basically everything I need for, like, if I want to buy food and stuff and clothes and things like that. While my investing fund is just money that I put aside for investing. Finally, my savings fund. And my savings fund is just money that I put aside in case of an emergency. Or usually I don't recommend putting all your money in checking. I put like most of it into savings, and that just gets you into the habit of saving. And saving can be good because you never know, like one day you may, because this happens often, it's like one day you really need money for something that you really want, and it's good to have saved up some money. So what I put most of my money is investment fund and living fund. But I put every time I get a paycheck or every time I get money, I put like a certain amount, a certain percentage into the saving amount and to the savings account. So yeah, and I just put it aside in the case of an emergency, and I don't really touch it. So since I'm younger, right, I don't really have that many expenses, but so what I mean by this, I don't really purchase many things. I'm really more aggressive in my savings and my investment fund. That's where the majority of my money goes. So another thing you guys should really keep in mind is where your money is going. So I mean, just the other day I checked, and I had this subscription for $40, and it was taking $40 monthly out of my account, out of my check-ins account. And it's a subscription for a program that I don't even use. So really check where your money is going. Be aggressive with your finances, and that way, you can really make a lot from less. And that's what the whole purpose of this channel is, to help you guys in the journey to achieve the good life and financial freedom. So yeah. So my final rule, or rule number 4, is live below your means, guys, or live on less on that which you make. So too often we are caught up in the ever-turning wheel of work for money, get the check, and then buy things to impress other people that like you don't really like care about that much, you know? So the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki illustrates this perfectly. So Robert Kiyosaki, this is a quote from his book, and this is what he states. He states, most humans are driven by 2 emotions, fear and greed. The fear of having no money keeps us working, and when we do get paid, greed kicks in. We think of all the things money can buy, and it's a cycle that most people get stuck in. They make more money and continue the cycle by spending more, and this is called the rat race. So you guys got to get out of it. You guys got to realize, like what's going on. Stop your bad habits and, level up. Level up. Another thing is differentiate, like know the difference between needs and wants. Like, do you really need the new iPhone 11, or does your old phone work just fine? Like, do you need a new iPhone? I don't think so. And really, if you do this and you are able to invest, that's when like the magic starts to happen. Do you really need those brand new sneakers, you know, the brand new LeBrons? Do you really need them? I don't think so, you know? Or do you have plenty already? Like, I know for me, would I like new shoes? Sure, I would, but I got some shoes that I used last year. I got like some other shoes, like some sports shoes. So it's like, you know, I'm happy, I'm good. I'd rather use that money on something else, you know, a different experience, something, you know? Um, and then there's just like stupid things to buy, like drugs and weed and things like that. It's like if you're spending money on like things like cigarettes, it's like don't even be watching this channel. Like please stop. That's just a complete waste of money and it's really expensive. Like my friend, I knew this person who was a smoker, and she told me how much she spent weekly on her habits, her bad habits, and it blew my mind. It's like if she saved up that money and she actually invested it like in the way that I could have like told her how to do it, you know, it's it really doesn't make me really happy, and I feel bad for her because it's a lot of money that she's spending on a terrible habit that's terrible for her health. So, and I'm not trying to tell you guys to stop like splurging on yourself and stop buying yourself stuff. That's fine every once in a while. I'm just trying to say is try to do it less often and really take a look at your expenses, and that's it. That's pretty much it. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. I'm putting in a lot of effort to really get better in this whole like video recording thing, but thank you guys. If you guys found it useful, you know, like maybe leave a comment. I'll answer to every single comment, and subscribe. You guys can definitely follow me on Instagram, and I'll be replying to every single DM. So thank you very much, and have a great day. Thank you.